distinguished guests, members of the council, ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding to receive the Worshipful the Mayor of Burnley, County Councillor Kosovo Townley. Thank you.
They're not here for you. Where are my glasses? Where are my glasses? Glass crisis, ladies and gentlemen. Please sit down.
Sorry, Madam Mayor, you were there.
Let's just...
You're on me.
No, let's just carry on. It's all right.
He's
Just have to
moved
read it.
Someone's moved it.
Item 1. Election of Councillor Arif Khan as Mayor. It is my pleasure to call upon Councillor Afrasiab Anwar to move the election of Councillor Arif Khan as Mayor of the Borough and Chair of the Council for the ensuing municipal year. Oh, those aren't mine. Councillor Afrasiab Anwar.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. It gives me great honour and it's a privilege to be given the opportunity to move Councillor Arif Khan as the Mayor of Burnley. The words honour and privilege get bandied about quite a bit, but as I say, it's an absolute honour and a privilege, and I mean this in terms of, and the reason I say it is that Councillor Arif Khan is from a generation who were one of those who were the first arrivals here in the UK, and what they did was they set the path for people like myself to be able to go on and achieve some of the things that we have gone on to achieve. And my father tells us a story, or he used to tell us, and I've heard similar stories from Councillor Arif Khan as well, where when they first arrived here in this country, when they worked in the mills, one of the things that they would do, they would have maybe 10, 12 young men that would live in a 2-up, 2-down terrace, work a 12-hour shift, and then come home and jump into the bed where somebody else had been sleeping just to get warm and to keep warm. That's the struggle that this generation went through so that we wouldn't have to. And then, as a young man, when I was growing up, one of the things that I saw was the struggle that they had in terms of getting involved in the professional fields, but also as getting elected. And getting elected to office, serving as local councillors, and I know and saw the role that Councillor Arif Khan played, particularly in the contribution he made to Burnley and Burnley's, especially in the aftermath of the disturbances that we had here in our town in 2001, and how bringing our communities together. And one of the things that I want to say is that the reason I say it's an absolute pleasure is that currently now I'm standing here as leader of the council. We have another young person who sits in the House of Lords, and we have representation from all different communities, all communities that have made a contribution to Burnley. And that would not have been possible if it hadn't been for this first generation who paved the way so we wouldn't have that struggle and so that we could go on to achieve. And everything that we achieve is all thanks to that generation and people like Councillor Arif Khan. So thank you, Madam Mayor. I move.
Thank you, Councillor Anwar. Can I call upon Councillor Sue Graham to second the motion?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd be very happy to second Afrasiab's motion for Councillor Arif Khan to become Mayor of Burnley and Padiham for the forthcoming municipal year. I've known Arif for many years. I regard him very much as a friend, and he's always been happy to provide me with sound political and also gardening advice. Arif loves gardening and is very happy to talk to anyone about his hobby. He introduced me to the community of Queensgate when I was campaigning to be their councillor and gave excellent support to my work in that ward and more latterly in Lane Head. I know that he has made his whole family very proud, and I'm so glad there's so many of them here to see him today. I hope too that they will look after him in the coming months. It's a tough thing being a mayor, and I hope that you will all offer your support to Arif. Arif will be an excellent and hard-working mayor for Burnley and Padiham. I wish him every success in his mayoral role. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Graham. Members of the council only, will those in favour please say aye? Aye. Any against? I declare the motion carried.
Distinguished guests, members of the council, ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding. Thank you. Distinguished guests, members of the council, ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding to receive the worship of the Mayor of Burnley, Councillor Arif Khan. Thank you.
call upon the Mayor, Councillor Arif Khan, to make the statutory declaration of acceptance of office.
I, Arif Khan, having been appointed to the office of Mayor of Borough of Burnley, declare that I take that office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfill the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and ability. I undertake to observe the code as to the conduct which is expected of members of the council. Okay. Right. Item 2, vote of thanks. Sorry. Oh, no, sorry. The mayor will then write them. Yeah. Thank you. Bit of hiccups. Thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. What an honor, delight and privilege it is to be stood here as the Mayor of Burnley. So thank you all for putting your faith and trust in me. I am truly humbled. If someone had told me that the young teenager that first arrived to this country from Pakistan in the early 60s, that I would one day be representing Burnley as the mayor, I would never have believed them. But here I am today, immensely grateful for the opportunities and experiences this country and town has given me and led me here today. I know my mother and father, who are no longer here with us, would have been bursting with pride today. As I become the mayor of Burnley today, I know I have lots of responsibilities to undertake throughout my mayoral year. County Councillor Townley, Kasima Townley, I want to take this opportunity on behalf of everyone here today and in the borough to thank you for your relentless and dedicated services as our mayor. As you retire from your position, please know your legacy and work for the charities you supported will continue to live on for many years to come. I would like to express my thanks to all the town hall staff, officers, the elected council members, and my Queensgate Ward residents for their continued support and trust in me. Without you all, I would not be here, so thank you all, and I hope I can continue to be of service. Last but not least, my family, my wonderful wife, Zabun Nisa, my children, Shibana, Asif, Sadif, Shahid, Shama, and my grandchildren, who have been my biggest cheerleaders. Without their backing and support, sacrifices, and unwavering patience, I would not be able to dedicate so much of my time to public service. My son, Councillor Asif Raja, will become my consort, and I also want to thank him for agreeing to take up this role. I made Burnley my home in 1976 and have never looked back. It is a charming town, steeping rich in culture and heritage. Burnley's heritage is a testament to its resilience, creativity, and pioneering spirit that I am so proud to be part of this story. For those that I know will know that I am passionate about the town and the people that live here. for the town and country that has given me so much. I feel it is my duty and privilege to give back. I have dedicated almost 40 years to public service through community service and laterally in local politics, and I am not quite ready to stop yet. Burnley is a delightful place to live and work, but we must never stop growing, developing and progressing. I am particularly excited for the pioneer leisure development that so many people have worked so hard on coming to fruition, which will be such a positive and welcome addition to the town. Further projects such as the expansion of Euclan through the redevelopment of the former Newtown Mill, environmental improvement to the area between Turf Moor football ground and the town centre, along with further upgrades to the Manchester rail station and bus services will mean that the town continues to develop and prosper. Above all, however, I am delighted that in my mayoral year, Burnley Football Club will be back in their rightful place in the Premiership of the Clarets. In my role as the mayor, I am keen to showcase all that is great about the town, the wonderful people, the contribution they make to the community to ensure the next generation has a future here. My priorities for the year will be to work with others to deliver change for ordinary workers and families across the town, to help tackle the cost of living crisis and invest in communities and be a voice for the silent and underprivileged. In my mayoral year, I want to support and promote some of the lesser and well-known charities operating in the communities for the causes close to my heart. Finally, I would like to sign off by saying I will be a mayor for all and promise to do my very best to represent you all and promote Burnley to its best. Once again, thank you for placing your trust in me. Item 2, a vote of thanks to retiring mayor. I call upon Councillor Margaret Lishman to move a vote of thanks to the retiring mayor, County Councillor Cosima Townley, for her services during the past municipal year.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's my privilege and pleasure to propose the vote of thanks to our outgoing mayor, County Councillor Cosima Townley, on behalf of all the members of Burnley Council. And what a year you've had, along with your mayoresses and your consort. Both mayoresses and the consort have been an asset to the town, and the mayoresses have brought new ideas and new events to the hard-working mayoresses committee. Now we even have a card machine. I know that you were delighted to begin your year surrounded by family and friends, and especially the presence of your father, Sir Simon Townley, was there to see a Townley become Mayor of Burnley. Sadly, Sir Simon died during your year of office, but I know that he took great pride and pleasure in your achievements as Mayor. Cosima, you undertook 209 official events, including regular visits to the artisan market, which you did so much to bring into being. What a success that market is. The Armed Forces and Cadets Family Fun Day at Townley Park was a huge success. I know that you were extremely pleased to see so many people enjoying the day out and seeing all of the services. There was Remembrance Day and the parade, the Holocaust Memorial Service. This year, you also had the exceptional duty of quite a number of royal events. First, there were the events of Her Majesty's Platinum Jubilee, and then in September, the sombre events surrounding the death of Her Majesty. Then there was the King's proclamation, and more recently, the events surrounding His Majesty's coronation. Burnley could not have been better represented by our Mayor throughout those events. You have attended the Burnley College Awards ceremony and the first Community Awards ceremony in Burnley, which highlighted the amazing work of so many charities and the volunteers working in our town. You floated down the canal for charity, in a boat, I should add, undertook a charity horse ride, and dressed as a squirrel for the Mayor's Charity Mile event with school children. You have also planted more trees than any other mayor in Burnley. That's a record I hope that future mayors will aim to beat. However, I should note that you have probably driven David, your mayor's attendant, mad, with your tendency towards always arriving at the last minute, not to mention the dogs, which have always been ready to hitch a ride in the mayoral car. The Mayor's Ball at Turf Moor was a huge success, raising more than £5,000. You also hosted this recent civic reception for our fantastic football team and their manager. You even got to hold up the Championship Cup for them. I'm not jealous. Well, perhaps a bit. Finally, you have presided over our council meetings with calm authority and a firm hand and voice, ensuring that we all behave in a manner befitting our role as elected representatives. Most of the time, anyway. You have had a great and eventful year as Mayor and will have some amazing memories to cherish for the future. I know that being Mayor of Burnley is an enormous honour and a privilege. Cosy, you've done us proud. For that, I thank you, along with all my fellow councillors. Thank you.
I call upon Councillor Sue Graham to second the motion.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I'm certainly happy to second Councillor Lishman's thanks to Cosima for her dedication in making the most of this mayoral year. There have been lots of ups and downs this past 12 months, but I am sincerely, personally, glad that Sir Simon lived to see you become Mayor. It must have been extremely hard for Cosy to keep going through this sad loss. But Cosy being Cosy, she approached each task, each event, with her customary enthusiasm and sense of humour, and has proved an extremely popular representative for the towns of Burnley and Padiham. We will miss Cosy in the council chamber, there's no doubt about that, but I wish her the best of luck in her continued campaigns to support the borough's rural enterprises. Thank you so very much, Madam Mayor.
The vote of thanks has been moved and seconded. Members of the council only. Will those in favour please say aye? Aye. The motion carried. Those against? No. Yeah, the motion carried. Yeah, sorry. I take great pleasure in presenting County Councillor Cosima Townley, her consort and mayoresses with the ex-mayor and consort mayoress medallions. Yeah. I call upon County Councillor Kasima Townley to reply to the vote of thanks.
Aldermen, councillors, honoured guests, salam alaikum. What an extraordinary year it has been. A jubilee, a death, a proclamation, a coronation, a prime ministerial fleeting visit, an election, a promotion. There's hardly been time to draw breath. I would suggest a state of dazed disbelief when first taking up the role of mayor, because I rather enjoyed serving as deputy. So it came as a bit of a shock to be taking up the actual reins in May of 2022. So what is the morality? What is the point of the mayor? It is a question I have pondered often and have come to the following conclusion. The mayor is a bridge, a conduit between the public and the private, the visible, and I have to say more approachable and accessible face of what more often than not is an invisible, confusing and often incomprehensible council, contact with whom, for most, goes no further than the annual council tax bill and bin collection. It is also an honorary position and one of the hardest working roles as I found in this council. Come rain or shine through the hugger-mugger of life, public holidays and general national toings and froings, the show must go on. And that is entirely as it should be. That is the point of a bridge and what each and every person, having put so much blood, sweat and tears into organising their special events, would expect. And so I want to extend my thanks to the kindness and hospitality of so many voluntary, faith and third sector groups. I shall not, indeed I dare not name them individually, as they are legion, and I would fear to miss a single one. Their dedication, so vital, so unassuming, so crucial to the running of this borough. There is an argument that worries too much is left to the voluntary sector. I disagree. The work they undertake is what binds communities together. Also, they often do it so much better than local government because, unfettered from tedious policy and stifling spans of management, they are agile, versatile, imaginative, and adept at spotting a need and setting about filling it. Thank you, one and all. On behalf of our voluntary sector, I make a heartfelt plea to those in this room and anyone listening on the YouTube. We need more adults to support these wonderful, life-enhancing groups. Don't just take your child or children to scouts, brownies, football, cricket. Don't just take them to our wonderful parks and playgrounds. Join as a family the friends groups, the societies. Offer an evening every 2 months if that is all you can spare. Just cease the drop, scoot and pick up. Take a piece of ownership of the activity or place your child and yourself enjoy so much. Don't just partake, take part. Moving on, the Mayor is the goodwill ambassador to the wider world, not just within the County Palatine, but to our near neighbours, from Greater Manchester, Cheshire, even unto Yorkshire. The importance of nurturing channels of communication between borough, county and the regions is much neglected and to our loss, because there is a wealth of knowledge and experience to be harnessed for the greater good through the diverse morality of the year. Sadly, my successor, Councillor Khan, will not be able to share the kindness of our Yorkshire brethren. Local government reform has seen many distinguished chains of office consigned to their respective town halls until further notice. But on a lighter note, it was a delight to promote the borough from the studios of the BBC in Salford with Lord Khan. So from lighting a beacon of joy for the Platinum Jubilee, the long-anticipated Youth Action Day at Townley, first mooted in 2019 when I was on the executive. Goodness, what heady days those were, Maggie. And thank you to Catherine Swift and Maureen Neve for your dogged determination in making this a peerless day of activity to start our Armed Forces Week in 2022. And then to an unrivalled cricket, I like to think, at Stonyhurst, including councillors of all hues, members of the clergy and rising stars of the Lancashire women's cricket scene. Personal challenges by kayak, Maggie. It wasn't a boat, it was a kayak. And the Mayor's Mile, for that read 4, but the wonderful encouragement from both the schools that took part in their mile. And there have been anniversaries denoting 100, 50, 25, 10, and even their first inaugural years. But our cup runneth over to have celebrated 900 years of St. Peter's. Civic commemorations and commiserations, teas and dinners, schools, colleges, universities, bond holders, local businesses. Thank you. But of course, none of these activities take place in isolation. And I want to publicly thank the Town Hall team and all the officers and staff, wherever they reside in Burnley. Without that, the role of Mayor, indeed our role as councillors, would be impossible and not nearly half as efficient. I will pick out Maureen Neve, who runs the civic reception services and events with the command of a field marshal. Without her approval, you may not pass. And I now have something, if Maureen is around, could you please step up, and my Marises, could you? Thank you, Maureen. A very small thank you. Great many wonderful memories. The second person I would especially like to thank is Diane Whittle, who runs the events alongside Maureen in seamless harmony. How she managed to consistently and coherently coordinate 3 diaries, and that was just for me, I can only admire from a distance. Unfortunately, Diane is working at this present moment, so I shall be dropping off her florals later on. And David, Bristow, Sunday name, foggy to us. Thank you. This will be the only year I have and will have maintained a record for being on time. Regular as clockwork, as dependable as rock, as discreet as the grave, and adaptable. Foggy can now add the competencies of shepherd and orienteer, and he's got the turn of speed of a whippet and the tenacity of a terrier when it comes to keeping wildlife from the mayoral car. I think that also includes grandchildren. It has been an honour to have got to know you better, and on behalf of my mayoresses and myself, can we please present you with a small token of our gratitude. And speaking of mayoresses, what could I have done without Pylin and Mel? Little did they know what they had agreed to, because there is no book of instruction when stepping into such a role. And that was the very point of asking them. I knew both were universally proficient, skilled, skillful, and dependable from our work together throughout and beyond the pandemic. And so it has proved. Who would have thought to pair pie with poetry as a fundraiser, or thought to link the little barista to create a coffee blend that generated a donation to the Mayor's charitable fund with the sale of each bag and bean. Such imagination. And they took in hand the modernisation of the Peerless Mayoresses Committee and have begun the work of opening up what has been somewhat of a closed shop. I salute the incoming mayoresses. May your year be easier for the work Mel and Pylin have undertaken, and I wish you an exciting and successful year. Just a small token of our appreciation and good luck for the future. This moment cannot pass without mentioning Mark Hindman, Pylin's husband, without whom technology may well have confounded the committee. In short, I can only conclude that the organisations you each work for are incredibly lucky to have you. I hope it has been as memorable a year for you as it has been for me. Thank you for all your efforts and those of the committee. Once the final donations are gathered, the funds will be dispersed. All I can say is, through hard work and some good luck, the Riding for the Disabled, Dineley Group, Rosendale and Pendle Mountain Rescue and Pendleside Hospice have some good news to look forward to. To my colleague, Councillor Arif Khan, thank you for your support throughout this year, and indeed many previous years. Your year is bursting with promise. Embrace it. Finally, you'll be very glad of that. Odin had two ravens, Hugin, thought, and Munin, memory. This pair would counsel and conscience that deity. I have Councillors Maggie Lishman and Councillor Sue Graham. Despite our political differences, it is good to talk, and I believe we always shall. I can see the rabble getting restless, so finally, I will reiterate my former words when mayor, that politics is a blood sport. At the end of a hunting day, the huntsman blows the going home. This is the end of this day, this chapter. But whilst I look down with deep affection on many of you in the knowledge our ideologies differ, and at times we have come to near blows, I hope the cross-party friendships I have made over the past 16 years will follow me out of this hall. And tomorrow is another day. Who knows what is in store? Aldermen, councillors, honoured guests, thank you for your indulgence and good luck.
Appointment of Deputy Mayor. I call upon Councillor John Harbour to move the election of Councillor Shah Hussain, who has stepped down as executive member, to act as Deputy Mayor during my illness or absence for the period of my year of office. Councillor John Harbour.
I so move, Mr. Mayor.
I call upon Councillor Jeff Sumner to second the motion.
I second the motion, Mr. Mayor.
All members of the council only. Will those in favour please say aye? Aye. Those against? I declare the motion carried.
I, Shah Hussain, having been appointed to the office of Deputy Mayor of the Borough of Burnley, declare that I take the office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and ability. I undertake to observe the code as to the conduct which is expected of the members of the council.
On behalf of the Mayor, I have the following announcements to make. The Mayor at Home event will take place on Tuesday the 30th of May between 2 and 4 p.m. at the Town Hall. The Mayor's charity dinner dance date are still to be confirmed. Thank you.
That concludes the business of this meeting.
Oh, sorry.
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Congratulations. Congratulations, Mr. Deputy Mayor. That concludes the business of this meeting. Thank you all for your attendance. I look forward to welcoming members of the council and any observers back for our appointments council meeting at 6:30 p.m.
Distinguished guests, members of the council, ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding. Thank you.